Hello, friends. Astrologer Mohnish here, and thank you for watching my videos on Vedic astrology and financial astrology. As you all know, that I've been traveling to Europe from last 10 days. At present, I'm in Amsterdam at one of my friends' home, and you can see it's a beautiful weather. I'm sitting outdoors while making this video. This video is about Iran, Israel, and US war, the conflict which is going on, and we know US has just entered the war. The situation is bubbling and it's escalating very fast. And I predicted this when I was in Montreal airport. If you have watched my last video, I'll put the link in the description below. I mentioned that the war will happen. And that was a video I posted on 12th of June. And 13th of June, the next day, Israel attacked Iran. Now, what is about to happen now? Are we heading towards World War III? This is what I'm going to cover in this video. But before I start, before you watch this video till the end, I would recommend that you should go to my Astral Astrologer channel and watch these videos. See, 6 months ago, I predicted astrology and geopolitical Middle East on the verge of change. This is my prediction I made 6 months ago. Watch this. And then I also made a prediction about NATO is preparing for the war. And you can see that very clearly that this 6 months ago, I made this prediction. So watch these videos so that you know what is about to come. I also made a video about world on the edge, world economy, and also what is about to happen in the month of June till August for 2025. Here is the document which I shared with most of my members. And you know that from June 6th, I said that the ego clash, military aggression will happen when Mars enters Leo. And this is the same time when we see on June 13th, Israel attacked Iran and there's a retaliation going on. It's a huge spike escalation going on as US also attacked the nuclear sites of Iran. Now, what is about to happen is Saturn retrograde in Pisces, Uttar Bhadrapada Nakshatra, July 13. We know this is about to come. From July 13, Saturn is going into retro direction. I also made a prediction about that what will happen when Saturn and Rahu made the Shrapit Dosha combination on March 29th on solar eclipse. So this is where it is. So Rahu and Saturn made a Shrapit Dosha connection in the sign of Pisces, which always triggers a world war and nuclear threats. And we saw that this happened on March 29th, and this is a video about it. Watch it, and then you saw what happened between India and Pakistan. We were close to the nuclear war. What's happening now is also close to a nuclear war. So watch these videos so you understand that how astrology works and how I've been predicting the geopolitical events with the spot on accuracy. I'm going to share the chart of Iran with you so you know that what is about to happen for Iran. So this is Iran's birth chart, and if you open their annual chart of 2025, you see that seventh house, which is the house of the enemies, is sitting in 11th house, and Mars is respecting the 10th house of government under pressure, government under aggression, and government will take very aggressive step, and they will do everything to hit back to their enemies. And this is what Iran is doing right now. If I just draw it here for you guys, you can see that very clearly that the seventh house of enemies and 11th house is aggression over enemies, gains over enemies, and Mars respecting this house of 10 leadership will be very aggressive. However, the eighth house of destruction and devastation, which is ruled by Venus, Venus is sitting with Saturn and Rahu, causing that Shirapit dosha. And this is a major problem for Iran right now. Iran is going through Rahu and Moon Dasha. Moon Dasha and Rahu Dasha is going on for Iran. And you can see that Rahu is one of the planet which is causing the Shrapi dosha over Venus. So this means the war will continue. Saturn will go retrograde on July 13th, and this will trigger more war scenarios, more war, and Middle East will become the epicenter for the World War III. And if you do the same thing with the NATO, the chart of NATO, I show you the chart of NATO, and you see that in the NATO's chart, and we're gonna make again the the annual chart, Tajka Solar Returns chart, which is April 5, 2025 for NATO, the yearly chart, and you see all the planets are clustered in the first house, and Ketu is sitting in the seventh house of enemy. Losses for NATO will be there. War situation, devastation, destruction is there for the NATO also. Shrapi dosha is happening in the first house. The whole NATO organization will have a lot of question marks on them, which they need to prove. And the way they will need to prove it with the act of war, aggression, or maybe going directly in war with Putin, Russia, and also indirect involvement of China would also be there. So this is what I wanted to highlight with you to all my members, that the time which is coming next is not going to be very easy. As Saturn moves into retrograde situation from July to 13, the situation will go worse. What you see right now is just a trailer. Iran will retaliate very heavily. Putin is also waiting to retaliate for the drone attacks it had on their air bases, which is still to come. Saturn will prove the point of karma return. And Saturn, when it becomes retro, it becomes very evil. There could be a little bit of ceasefire, diplomatic play in between, because there's a aspect of Jupiter also coming into this picture, as I shown in my document that Jupiter enters Adra on June 13. So chaos, tech disruption, rebellion, storms will be happen, and Saturn's weight on Jupiter, this particular thing will cause a little bit of ceasefire also, but the suppression of truth will also be there. But ultimately, this is not going to avoid the war. If you are my premium member, you can ask this document, email us, and we'll share with you. But the overall prediction is this, that what you're seeing right now is just a trailer. You will see in July, August what happens. Because NATO is preparing for war. I am in Amsterdam today, and it's already been declared within the schools of Amsterdam that be prepared to defend your country. This is today's message in the schools of Amsterdam, where I am. And I heard that they are also telling their citizens that be prepared to fight. Germany is also getting ready for war. NATO is digging their trenches. And you will see when Saturn goes retro, even before that, 1 month before the Saturn becomes retro, the effects are being seen. And we can see that what's happening. July 13, it will go retro, and June 12th onwards, we are seeing them. Jupiter aspect, Saturn aspect on Jupiter will cause a little bit of in between delays in ceasefire. There will be a little bit of diplomatic pressure, ceasefire, but the war will not stop. It will go continue, and you will see it will escalate more. So again, be prepared, stay safe, and I will give you more updated news about the geopolitical environment, what's happening. Watch my previous videos to connect the dots. Middle East, NATO, March 29th solar eclipse. You must be aware of this, that what I'm predicting from the last 6 months is coming to sooner or later. The dots will be connected. Whatever astrology says, it's not a gimmick. It will happen. Okay, so be safe. Make sure you are active, you are prepared, what is about to come, and then you are spiritually awakened to that extent that we can somehow avoid a nuclear war. So again, this is Astrologer Mohnish. I will see you in my next video very soon, while I'll be traveling to some other European nations. I was in Paris, and then I'm going back to Paris. I may be staying in Brussels also for a few days to meet my clients there and my students there. And soon in between, I'll find a time to make a video to update you. So let's date. Let's see, what happens, and wait for the situation. But I wish and pray peace should prevail, and no innocent citizen should be killed or harmed. And I wish the world should see the peace soon. But Saturn retro is not going to show them. Stay safe, stay happy, and stay awakened. I shall see you in my next video very soon. Thank you for watching.